And because you did that, I myself had to dig down and go get help from somebody tonight too. Uh, maybe you heard of him, maybe you haven't. Okay, but I want to play you this clip real quick
uh
that we had before we bring him on. Bring him on. I want you to hear this, okay? Because
Okay.
your name is shouted out in this clip. Okay, I
Oh,
want you to
okay.
hear this. I want you
Interesting.
to hear this.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Coming to you from the cave. I gotta tell you, I've been searching around. I'm sick of ESPN always being negative. I'm sick of NFL Network, all these other big shots always telling us what's wrong with the Cowboys. So I like to look local. I like listening to the local podcasts, the local guys. I want the word on the street. I came across bFb. Great radio station, great podcast covering DFB sports. Now we all know the sport that matters to me is America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. But let me tell you, they're on Tuesday and Thursday, so I checked them out. I like Walt. I like EA. I like Tomas. Billy. I like it, but we got to work on you a little bit of Dak negativity. You always got something to say. You always got to criticize. You can't give the man love without giving a little negative. We got to end that. Because this man's going to lead us to the promised land. Let me tell you, I don't know if you saw the look in his eyes in training camp. I don't know if you saw the look in his eyes this season. The man's determined. He's leading these men to the promised land, which is the Super Bowl, and that's where we're going to be headed. So, we don't need the hate. We don't need the negativity. We got to stay positive because, my friend, this ain't the old Cowboys. Those days are long past. Garrett's long past. We got McCarthy. Give the man his credit. We got the coordinator. You got Quinn. You got Kellen Moore. We're going to get it done. So let me feel you. I'm going to be on there tonight. We got to get hyped. I got to hear you. Cowboys Nation, can you dig it?
Did you hear that, Billy?
I did hear that.
Did you hear that?
Listen,
Can you dig it? Can
listen,
you dig it?
Mike, I can dig it, man. I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. I'm ready to run through that brick wall every time I see that.
Well. Listen. Let me tell you something. Wait no further, because joining us right now is the gentleman in the video, the greatest Dallas Cowboy fan, and the man who has the greatest Cowboys man cave right here,
Bar none.
Mike Tag. Mike is
What's up?
joining us right here, man. How you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. What's up, guys? I appreciate you having me on.
Hey,
Well, first
Mike.
off, First
Glad
off,
to have
sir,
you, man.
I want to thank you for having my support here in that video. This guy here, right here. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen
I've
it.
been
That's why
watching. That's why I even asked you. I was like, "Is it legit? Is he really a Dak hater?" Because I mean, I might be biased, but I lived through those Clint Sterner, Drew Henson,
Yeah.
right years, man. So
Yeah.
I hold the quarterbacks. When we get a guy like Dak, I gotta love him.
Mike, listen, let me say this, man. I'm a longtime Cowboys fan, man. I was born in '85, came out the womb blue and silver, right? So I'm familiar with I'm familiar with the Clint Sterners and the Anthony Rice and Chad Hutchisons and Drew Hensons and all those guys. I'm familiar with all those guys. I want it to be known because, see, Mike, you're just being walked into this, so I want to make sure that I give you proper context. I am a Dak Prescott fan. I own multiple jerseys. I just try to explain to these guys that when it comes down to the Dallas Cowboys, when they're not playing well, and they are playing well now, but their accountability goes throughout your football team. And there's nobody on the team, in my opinion, who's any bigger than the rest. We know Dak is the leader of the team, unquestioned. But when they're not playing well and things go wrong, when you have turnovers in the red zone and you're not doing certain things, he can be critiqued as well. These guys, Dak Prescott is Teflon. You can't say anything about him or you are hating. That's where we have an issue.
Where you are. Well, you know me. As I've said before, Mike, you might not know this. I only specialize in dubs. Okay, I am the mayor of Dub City. The only way you come to Dub City is if you get a dub, and depending on, and not only will you get the dub, what did you do in the game to help get the dub? Did you give me a touchdown? Oh, Billy, and just announcing tonight while I got Mike here, we're accepting interceptions in Dub City now.
Oh, okay, good.
Interceptions can get you in Dub City. So Trayvon Diggs, next time the Cowboys win, which will probably be Sunday, if he's got an interception, he's gonna get the special because of his interception.
Okay, I can live with that.
So we're ready to go here, Mike. Before we get into the Cowboys Patriots, tell me something, man. When did your love for the Cowboys start?
Well, I'm a 75 kid, so
Okay.
most of my early years was with the Cowboys with the 80s. They weren't real good. I've got two older brothers, grew up in South Florida. Oldest is a Miami fan. Middle brother was a Broncos fan. My mom got me a Cowboy 33 shirt.
Tony Dorsett.
I just saw Dorsett. I saw the star. They were on a lot. They were okay. They weren't great. And just became a huge fan, and just the passion for the Cowboys just grew and grew. And just a quick thing I always tell people is, where I'm at in my life now, you guys see me when I get going on the Cowboys, I get loud, I get kind of energetic.
Yeah.
I tell you, when the Cowboys were at their worst, if you gave me 4 days, by Friday, by Saturday, you'll think they're going to win, but obviously.
Right.
But how I got in the job I'm in, and actually been, blessed with a nice life I had. I used to work in a hotel in South Florida, and this guy used to stay in a hotel, and he was a Dolphins fan, and it was right around the time Jimmy Johnson was going to go with the Dolphins, and we'd get going about the Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson. I'd get passionate, and he's like, "Hey man, if you could sell my stuff like the Cowboys, man, you can make a lot of money, and you can make me a lot of money." And I ended up taking a job doing something I had no idea of in sales, selling something I didn't know. So I always tell people the reason I'm so passionate with the Cowboys, I'm almost indebted to them, because everything I've had and the blessings I've had is really all goes back to being a Cowboys fan in some strange way. So
wow,
yeah,
that's interesting.
That's an abbreviated story. It's longer, but I just but that's it. But it's so it's just been a huge passion of mine, and obviously you see the man cave and most all this stuff I've had since I was a kid, and then through the years just collecting stuff over time and meeting players and my brothers. We were like the Super Bowls were always in South Florida, so we were like the stalkers during Super Bowl parties. So we'd run into Emmitt Smith and Dorsett and Herschel Walker and all those guys.
Oh yeah,
so
that's awesome, man.
Where did the idea of the man cave come from?
Well, it's something, I'm a goal guy, and it's something I always said someday I want to have a room, and I want to have all my Cowboys stuff. When I was a kid, I had obviously my little bedroom with different things, but I wanted to have something that was special, and I can come in and just relax and kind of chill and, have my own time, play PlayStation or whatever I want to do. And so when I moved into this house, I made sure before we bought any house that it had an extra room. So it was just one of those things off the checklist that you have in life that I wanted to have.
Sure. That's awesome. So, Mike, let me go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I was going to ask you, man, I love to talk football, man. There's nothing better to talk than these Dallas football Cowboys. I know you've been a fan for a very long time. We just recently came away from the Jason Garrett regime, right? And I was following you last year. Man, even when the pandemic was going on, I was like, man, Mike got me fired up, man. We're about to go out here and smash on somebody. We're about to hit somebody in the mouth and win a football game. And it didn't work like that all the time. With that being said, what would you say is the biggest area of improvement that you've seen just going from the late Jason Garrett regime over into the new age of the Mike McCarthy regime? What would you say is one of the biggest differences that you see between the two regimes at this point?
For me, it's Cowboys culture. And I think with Garrett, I think they got caught into the brand, the Cowboys brand, and it was more about the brand than winning. And it just seems to me this year is just different. You got some young blood. You got Parsons in there, Diggs in there. I mean, guys that came from winning pedigrees in college, winning national championships and competing for it. And then, the thing on Dak is I always loved Dak, but I always just, I was, hey, is he the guy? Is it the guy? And when that injury happened, I almost think it was a blessing, because it just, I don't know. He's just changed to me when I saw him in training camp. But to answer your question, the culture to me has been the biggest difference. Not so much the players, but the culture and the mindset.
I would tend to agree with you on that. I tell Walt and the guys on the show all the time, it's about I noticed a distinct culture change. It seems like these guys are not willing to accept eating the cheese, as we mentioned it. We're good. We're 4-1. No, these guys want more. They want more than just a division title. They want more than just a divisional playoff win. They want to win big. And I think, as I had mentioned before, with this previous Cowboys team, you had a lot of what I like to call milk drinkers on the team, right? And when I say that, I mean guys who are not necessarily dogs, okay? I've been calling for it for years. No matter how great DeMarcus Ware was and some of these other guys on the team, I just felt like they were just really talented football players, but they were just the good guys. Now you have guys who show up, and it's no question they're arriving with negative intentions. When they get to the ball, they're trying to rip your head off. They want the ball on the ground. When the ball is in the air, they feel like it's theirs, and they play with competitive nastiness. What I saw just this past weekend when we played the Giants, and I know this because my son, go figure, he's a New York Giants fan. I don't know how that happened. But my son,
you raising over there?
I don't know, man. I'm not doing a good job. This is one of those things where CPS should get involved at this point.
Don't worry, I got him on speed down.
Yeah, but Mike, I was looking at it, and that whole thing, even if you want to go back a week before against the Panthers, when DeMonte KZ came down and cracked on that receiver, like, it wasn't no helping him up or trying to check to see if he's okay. Like, I hit you, and I let you know I hit you. And the rest of these guys around me are letting you know. And then the thing with Kadarius Toney, those guys are over there, even when they played the Eagles, they're on the sideline yapping it up and talking. It's a different culture, man. These guys seem like they're really, really adamant about changing the culture from the milk drinking, oh, it's the Dallas Cowboys, they're a bunch of good guys, to bad boys. I like that, Mike. That gets me excited.
Well, I said I'm from the 305, so I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. So that's what I grew up on. It's the old Michael Irvin and Jerome Brown used to say, we're gonna beat you up on the field. We're gonna tell you how we're gonna beat you up in the parking lot. We're gonna beat you up again. That's just
right.
And just talking.
Right.
And that's what I see with this team. To your point, is they've got an nastiness. The Carolina game. 2 years ago, when we lose that game, 100%, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
We lose that game, because they're drinking the Kool-Aid, they're doing good, and we blow that one. And that's what I see the difference with this team is they're not allowing themselves. That's where I like Dak, and I give him a lot of credit as a leader, but also Parsons, and Diggs and those guys on the defense. I was at that Atlanta game. We lose Tyron Smith, and the world ended. We got 7 sacks. It was an embarrassment at home. Now we're losing guys, and there's just people plugging in and going. I mean, think of all the great guys, the starters that aren't there, and we hadn't missed a beat. It's so that's what I love about this team. Yeah.
Go ahead, Walt.
So, Mike, now recently I seen you were here. Was that the Eagles game you were here for?
Yes. Yeah.
So talk to me about that. What did you see out there at the Eagles game? And how often do you get down here to Dallas to go to a Cowboys game like that?
Well, it was a bucket list of mine too, is to get season tickets. So I live in Tampa.
Well,
3 years ago I got season tickets. So I usually try and go to a couple games, 2 to 3 games a year, but this year for some reason it's worked out with airline tickets and saving miles, and I'm going to be at the next 4 home games. So
there you go.
So I got a busy schedule, but going to the Eagles game is by far, if you haven't been to the Eagles, that's the best. I've been to a ton of them, and there's nothing better than beating the hell out of them at that stadium and just seeing their fans and the disappointment. But the team is, that's where you saw the fire and the passion and just that determination and just the will, just to, they're going to beat you up. And I'm loving the defense. I know people knock on them. Well, they're giving up these yards, and I don't care how many yards they're giving up. They're not giving up a ton of points, and they're getting a lot of turnovers. So I'll take it.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to address that later in the show, but I'll do it now. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, the Cowboys defense, their secondary is giving up all these yards. Well, this is where people like myself and you and others who watch these football games, you understand when the Cowboys are up by a significant amount of points, they're going to play a soft defense. There's going to be a lot of completions underneath for yards after the catch, and we just have to run and tackle. So those numbers can kind of be misconstrued. So I want people to understand that these teams aren't dropping back just shredding the Cowboys defense. I don't care what the numbers look like at the end of the game. You have to watch the game and understand what's happening within it in order to understand on the back end. There's 120 yards worth of passing late third quarter going into the fourth quarter where the game is already kind of put away, and that's the only way that they can attack. So I think people need to understand that this Cowboy defense is not just getting shredded the way people try to make it seem without turnovers.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So, Mike, so we're getting ready to take on the Patriots, or Mac 10. Mac 10 is what I like to call it. What do you see happening here, and what do we need to do to come away with this dub and have the Cowboys up in Dub City like they have been the past 4 weeks in a row with your boy?
Yeah. It's funny. I was listening in Dallas. I probably got the years wrong, but Dallas hasn't beaten the Patriots. Someone said, I thought I said since like the 90s.
Yeah,
yes, the
90s.
Okay. And then it was, I don't think we scored a touchdown in the last 2 times we played them. So,
right.
Bill Belichick,
that, and we haven't won it, and we haven't run in Foxborough since the 80s.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're due. We're due. The wild card to me, and that's why I really like this game, and I think it's going to be an intriguing one for us, is because you got Belichick. So Belichick's the master defensive guy. Now we got our offense, our high potent offense. I want to see how we perform against them. I don't think New England can't go toe to toe with us. So if our offense is smoking, we're going to blow them out. But I'm just curious to see what Belichick's plan is. He's always, he always likes to take away the best asset and the biggest strength. And right now, if you're looking at the last few games, you're going to say, well, it's that running game. So they're going to try their best to get that running game. So it's going to be on Dak, and these receivers to open it up, which I think could be just as dangerous. So it's going to be the chess match. It's going to be a pretty cool game to watch. I'm excited for sure.
It looks like Kendrick is saying since 1996.
Yeah, right.
When's the last time we won something?
Too long.
Well, I'm interested to see when it comes to Bill Belichick versus Kellen Moore. I mean, Belichick's the older, seasoned Super Bowl caliber coach, and Kellen Moore is potentially getting a head coaching gig somewhere. So I'm interested to see how that works.
Get the head coaching gig here. We got it for him.
Well, that way that may very well be true. But I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see. Kellen Moore has this offense high flying. It's going to be interesting to see because this will be his first real test against a defensive mastermind. We saw what Bill Belichick and the Patriots did against Tom Brady and the Bucs a few weeks ago. Granted, who better to know Tom Brady than Bill Belichick? But with that being said, it's just going to be interesting to see how our offense matches up against the Patriots defense. And again, if we eat the cheese, are we going to go in and say, hey, we need to come out here with a nasty disposition and come out and punch these guys in the mouth early and get them out of here? Or are we going to let them stick around? I'm interested to see that part of the game.
Yeah. It's good. They're going to, Belichick's going to get the offense frustrated. So it's how they're going to react. Because at some point, either Dak's going to get frustrated or Zeke, they're running it, whatever it is, there's going to be some frustration in how they overcome that. And that's what I think. This is one of those, I don't want to call it turning points, but it's one of those interesting matchups to see how this team really is. And because we should beat them, right? On paper, we're better probably at every position category you want to throw them at. But the wild card is going to be Belichick and how he's going to scheme against them and how we overcome it. So I think it's going to be a great game. I'm excited for this one. I wish it was in Dallas because I'd be there.
Yeah, huge week for the coaches, for the coaching staff is what I would say. I think the players are going to do their thing, but this is going to be a huge week to measure what our coaching staff looks like.
Well, it looks like we're going to be doing this without Tyron Smith coming to find out today, right?
I heard he was playing. No.
They're saying – Go ahead, Walt. Well, they're saying it's a stinger of some sort. And
again? Another stinger?
Yeah. It's just for precautionary reasons, is what they're saying. He was limited in practice. That was the final story. I think it's a non-story, but because of his history and the fact that we have to put it out on the injury report, people are going to take it and run with it. But I think Tyron Smith will be suited up and starting at left tackle this week, or this weekend.
Are we in agreement that the Cowboys can probably still win this game without him?
I would think so. I don't
Hopefully.
think the line's good enough. I think they could.
Yeah, I think so too. So now, Mike, getting back to you personally. So now, some of your videos I went back and watched. I noticed you have your daughter. Is it Eva doing them with you? So
yeah.
She's awesome.
So how does that come back? She just celebrated her birthday, right?
Yes, she did. Turned 15. So yeah.
Oh God, I feel sorry for you.
The videos, but sometimes she's getting to that age where she didn't want to hang out with dad. So
right.
So
yeah.
The funny thing is the very first video I did was after the Saints game, I think in 2018, when the Saints were undefeated, and I was up there bunching them up. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them, and I'm gonna drop one of my old school wrestling promos. After I did it as a joke. I was really not even on Twitter. And then my brother, after I did it, I sent it to my brother and my buddy who's a Cowboys fan, to watch it. And my brother's like, man, you got to put that on Twitter and just tag Tank Lawrence in it because you got his jersey on. And I did. And all of a sudden, my phone just started blowing up. And then it just took off from there. And then people kept wanting it. So I could do it. It was only going to be a joke. And it turned into, 3 years later. But my daughter was only like 12 at the time. And I didn't know it, but she watched the video so much she imitated the whole thing to the T. Every I did, everything I did. So then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put that on. I ended up putting it on Twitter, and then people, fell in love with her. And then so she, she jumps in the videos every now and then. She'll make a guest appearance with me when she's.
So I saw something. Did you get it when you were here at one point? Did they give you an interview here? Because I saw a news channel saying you and your daughter. They were talking about you and your daughter.
Yeah, and I didn't know, but after Micah Parsons retweeted my the first one in week 1, that ended up getting 100 and something thousand views. It ended up blowing up. I started getting messages from news stations, and they asked if they could play it. I was like, yeah, I don't care. Go ahead and play it, whatever. And I didn't know. Obviously I live in Tampa, so I didn't see the news. But then someone sent me a picture saying they did a news story on it. I tried to get it from them, but they said they didn't have it. So I don't know what they said. Hopefully they didn't dog me.
No.
Nothing but love, man.
Not if it was a Texas TV station. You didn't get dogged.
I'm sure I get played in the visiting teams especially last year when we were getting our butts whooped, and I still kept doing those videos. I'm sure people got I love the hate. I get a lot of that too. So I'm sure they had a field day.
Wait,
welcome to being a Cowboys fan.
So you get hate messages too?
Oh God, yeah. No, we all. I mean, Twitter's the easiest thing to do. You can hide behind your keyboard and talk all day.
Yeah. Don't worry. We get our fair share of criticism too. But this guy here, I don't know what it is he's got with people on Facebook. They love him. They follow behind his little stuff he's got going on with Dak Prescott. And they're in agreement with this crap.
No, they just want to win a Super Bowl, Mike. We all want number 6. That's all we want, man.
That's it, man. Too long, man. 26.
Ultimately, that's all it's about. Number 6. That's all we want down here.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, Mike. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. We've been fans of yours for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's such great to finally get you on. We were just sitting here. It was funny because I had asked you a week ago, and then Billy sends us all a text saying, "Man, you think we should have Mike Tag on?" And I was like, "Brother, I'm already on top of it. I talked to him the other day."
Yeah.
No, Mike, I appreciate it. No, I really do appreciate it. I'm glad I found you guys, or you guys found me. I went back and watched some of your shows to get caught up, and you guys do a great job. And hopefully we'll connect again too. I really appreciate it.
Well, we do a Cowboys post game show on Sundays too. Right after the game. It's live on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and Facebook.
I'll definitely check it out. And if I'm at the game, maybe give me your hotline or give me a phone, or maybe I'll call in.
We're right like we are tonight. We'll be right here on the deal. We put the at some point after we go over the game highlights, we put the stream key out for anybody to join in and talk to us.
Well, I'll give you a live perspective.
Yeah, Mike, listen. Mike, keep those videos going, man. I'm telling you, listen, the night before the game, I'm looking for it, man. I'm on Twitter. I'm scouring Twitter. I'm looking. And, man, I don't care what's going on. I don't care who's in or who's out. If Mike says that we're going to win this game, I'm with it. I'm ready to run through a wall. And, yes, I can dig it every time. Every time.
So let me ask you this, Mike. Before I let you go, before I'll let you finish that, but before we let you go, I need to ask you this. When do you do your videos and when do you drop them? That way so we can tell people to go check it out.
No, definitely. It's Friday night. I always do it 48 hours, like 2 days before the game. So it's always on Friday night. And then if I'm in Texas, sometimes I'll sneak to the stadium and do it, in the morning. Yeah. But usually Friday night's the time. So
I have not seen the stadium. I love it. I'm gonna have to go back and check those out. I haven't seen the stadium yet.
No, I've done some stadium ones. The best one, if you ever go watch on either my YouTube channel or you can scroll through Facebook. I did a post game. It's weird how it works. I did a post game one after we beat the Eagles a few years ago. I think 2018, and I thought it was the best one. I did it at the stadium after the game, and in the middle of my promo, fans started just coming around. So then I was high fiving, and I thought it was right. And it never got a lot of run. And then some of the videos get a lot of runs, so it's weird how it works out. But yeah, check that one out for sure.
We got to get that in rotation. We got to get that in rotation for them, man. So people can start in that.
I know.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I wanted to tell people because now he's not here tonight, but EA does a speech. Yeah, so when he does his speech, I usually release that the day of the game, right before, like a couple hours before the game, just because I want to get people hyped up right before the game.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
So your his speech and your hype up is where we're at right now.
Yeah, there you go. Mine will be dropping. I go to the 505 for some happy hour, get a few drinks in me. That way I'm ready to go, and then I just run and do it and knock it out. So
there it is.
Dropped on Friday for sure.
Well, I want to tell you this, Mike. I'm a big fan of Florida. I actually want to move to Florida. Tampa is the area that I would love to live in. I don't know. At one point in time, I did have some major ties to the city back when my guy LeBron was there, and we were up in D-Wade County, and we had that thing jumping big time.
Now those are fun years, man. Those are fun years.
You remember that? Remember that, Billy? We had D-Wade County jumping, Bron, D-Wade, and Chris.
Well, I'm a Mavericks fan, so I like LeBron, but I don't really care for the Miami Heat, so I don't care about Wade County or anything like that.
Yeah,
I've been to Dade County. I'm very familiar with Dade County, but nothing about Wade County.
No. It was D-Wade County at the time when Bron and Chris Bosh came through. It was D-Wade County. My guy, what's his name? Rick Ross. 305 son is out there from 305.
Yeah, Rick,
my guy.
For Miami, yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is Kevin Gray weighing in from 105.3 The Fan. Said Michael Parsons loves him some Mike Tag too.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody who works at the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, well, I hope so, man. Just tell them to keep bringing it. Tell them to bring me in that locker room one day. I'll get them fired up.
That's it, man. Make that happen.
That could be arranged after this COVID stuff dies down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed now, we had Dak Prescott's pops on not too long ago, and we had it confirmed that Jerry Jones does watch this show.
Yeah.
Anytime you put something about Dallas Cowboys, Jerry looks.
He's a good businessman. He knows.
He's a businessman.
So I'll tell you this: next time you do your videos, do @Dallas Cowboys or hashtag Dallas Cowboys and see what you get.
Yeah, no, I do. I try and hit them all. And I'm surprised. 105.3, they've played mine a couple times. I think the Tampa Bay one, and then there was one last year. So, and also just a shameless plug. Believe it or not, because of some of this, I'm on Cameo. So I do a lot of cameo videos.
Hey, look at
I do
that.
hype videos.
There you go.
I've done birthdays. I do teams. I've done engagements.
Wow.
Tickets. Family members giving away tickets as a gift and stuff. So that's been a lot of fun. So
That's amazing
Yeah,
right there. I did not know that.
congratulations.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
yeah.
I like.
So if people go salt you out, basically say, I want this guy to get me hype or whatever, or do it and get you an engagement.
I do it, man.
Really?
I do it. I dog people on their fantasy football. The only thing I won't do, I tell them, I don't wear any other jersey. I'm only going to be Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing the team. Don't be, money ain't worth it. I'm not going to bash the team or anything like that. But if they, want some fun videos, I definitely do it.
There you go.
Really, at some point, you keep bashing Dak Prescott, they're going to get you a cameo too. Somebody's going to want you to come over there and player hate for him.
Hey, listen. I tell you what. If I have to, if I have to hate on Dak Prescott and he has to keep proving me wrong and win, I'm going to hate the rest of the year because I want the Super Bowl. I don't want anything else short of that. I want the Super Bowl. Whatever my contribution to that has to be, so be it.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Mike. Thank you for joining us, man. You are welcome back anytime.
Now and anytime, guys. I appreciate it. It's nice meeting you. And
before you go off, can you tell people where they can find all of your stuff at, or where they can find you at on social media?
Yeah, just Twitter, mtag1993, Mike Tag on YouTube. That's pretty much where I'm at. Like I said, I do cameo under Mike Tag. It's always cool seeing me next to Zeke on the list, even though he gets a hell of a lot more money than I do, but that's fine.
Right.
We'll work on that money thing for you, Mike.
Yeah,
we'll
good, man. But I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for letting me come on your show. Had a great time.
No problem, man. I only wish we were in the
Absolutely.
studio, but this is fun. This is good right here. Matter of fact, we're gonna catch you one time during the week. We're gonna have you down there at that studio.
But just give me time, man. I'll be there.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
You have a good night, and tell your
Sounds
daughter
good, Mike.
happy birthday. And you guys have a good night, man.
Thank you. You too. Nice meeting you. Take care.
All right. Yes, sir.
That was Mike Tag, the greatest hype Cowboy fan there is.
Well, I tell you what,